Hello, my name is Maddie, and I have no inspiration whatsoever for a video to make. I have a million ideas of like different videos that I want to do, but the thing is that I kind of have to like prepare for those videos. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really want to do a video recommending different books on the LGBT spectrum because I feel like that's really important, and it's really important that people know about books that have LGBT characters. But I can't do that until I read more books with characters on the LGBT spectrum, because at this point in time, I've read books about mostly gay characters and mostly gay, like male gay characters. So I really want to read obviously more like lesbian romances. As you guys know, I've been trying to read more asexual books about asexual main characters. I want to read books about bi main characters. I have this book about an intersex, an intersex main character. So like, to do that video, I have to read more books that have those main characters. And I haven't done that yet. I mean, I'll never be able to fully talk about every single book in that area. But at this point in time, I just don't have enough information. So it's stuff like that like I can't make that video right now. So I have to push it back. Look for that in the future sometime, because I really want to make a video about that. And then I eventually want to do specific ones for specific, so like entirely gay romances, entirely lesbian romances, entirely bi main characters, entirely asexuals, entirely pansexuals. But like, once again, I need to do a lot more reading in order for that to happen. So I've been sitting on my bed instead of reading the book I have to read for school, which I don't want to read because I don't like it, trying to be like, what sort of video should I film? Because I should film a video. I can't film my wrap-up for the month because the month isn't over until this weekend, and I might read another book. I might finish the book that I'm currently reading. So I sat there and I was like, you know what you've never done? Like a life update. Like, you've never just sat in front of the camera and been like, my life is a mess and here's why. Because honestly, that's what this video is going to become. Because my life is a mess and here's why. It's not entirely a mess. Like, some people are probably looking at me like, you're in university, you have a beautiful stack of books, you obviously have a lot of friends because of all these beautiful photos behind you, like what is possibly wrong? And you're right, I'm at university, which I'm really happy about. I get to write at university, which I'm really happy about. I have this beautiful card of books, which I'm really happy about. And all of these friends make me really happy. But that's not the whole picture, if that makes sense. That's only one part of my life, and I feel like I need to talk about all of it to actually portray a real picture of myself, which is hard because I don't do well with like opening up to people. I get really nervous that I'm overanalyzing a relationship, I guess. A lot of the time I get nervous about getting too invested too quickly, because I'm the kind of person who, like, 3 days after I meet someone, I'm like, they're my new best friend, when like in reality they might not even like me that much. They've just been hanging out with me because of, you know, circumstances. I've never had that happen to me. I hope. I don't actually know. But I always feel like I get really invested before other people do. So this sort of thing makes me anxious because I'm like, no one's gonna want to watch this because I'm just being whiny about my first world problems. But you know what? I feel like this is gonna be good for me, and I'm gonna do it anyway. So let's get started. Like I said, I'm at university. I'm studying creative writing, and I'm in England, in case you guys haven't been watching my videos and don't know this. And it's so much fun because it's like I get to write, I get to read books, I get to be in an environment where everyone around me enjoys reading in some form, enjoys writing in some form, and that's amazing because for the longest time I have been that one weird reader friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had like lots of friends who read in middle school and like in early high school years, but as we got higher into like our education, they stopped reading as much. And then the ones who did continue to read, they like to read other things than, like, beyond what I like to read. So I would always feel a little bit, like, internalized because I only had one friend who liked to read stuff that I did, and he gets super picky, so, like, I try to recommend things to him, but every time he's like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll read it later, and I'm like, fine, whatever, you know, I'm just happy I have someone who likes some of the things that I like. So getting to be in this environment where everyone around me genuinely, like, thinks I'm cool for having this many books, like, thinks I'm cool, just, like, it's insane. And if you're the kind of person who feels like you're isolated because you are the only reader person in the world, I can assure you that you're not, and I can assure you that it definitely gets better. And that, especially in university, when everyone has to pick their subject, you're not going to have to sit in, well, depending on where you go to university. In the UK, I don't have to sit through any sort of topics I don't want to do. I don't have to take any sort of prerequisite science or math classes. I can take writing-centered classes for 3 straight years, which I know is not the same in every country, but is an amazing experience because it's just like, I just get to write for 3 straight years surrounded by other people who also enjoy writing, which is amazing and just like, it's such a good experience. But the hard thing is that, well, first of all, not everyone likes reading the same books here as I do. So like the majority of people enjoy other books like the ones that I like to read. But the thing is that because we're all shy, awkward loners, we have a hard time talking to each other. I'm not kidding. You guys are gonna think I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. Like, there are a couple people who are, like, very eccentric and, like, excited about books, which, like, obviously I am. But the thing is that in real life, I can be not excited about books because I worry about other people not liking what I like, if that makes sense. So if someone else expresses the opinion of like, oh, I don't really like books, it's like, well, then I'm gonna stop talking about books around you because I feel like I don't want to make you uncomfortable. So, this sounds so dumb saying it out loud. This literally so dumb. But like, that just means that I don't like to talk about books sometimes. But in a writing-centered course, what else do you talk about? What else do you talk about when all you're doing is writing and reading? So like, so I struggle. That's what happens. I struggle. I struggle with making friends, which is like, has been a struggle my entire life. And honestly, the best friends that I've made haven't been in my degree, which is odd because you'd think that I would connect most with other people who like the same things that I do. And the thing is that these people like the same things I do. Like, they like fantasy books and stuff. But one of them's a biology major, which is like, I just don't, but I mean, you know, you do you, like, I'm not gonna, and the other one's an English lit major, which makes sense. So, like, yeah. The lesson there is that you should join clubs, because that's where I met those two people. So yeah, there's that. This week is Thanksgiving in the US, and one of the saddest things in my life right now is that I don't get to be home for Thanksgiving, because it's one of my favorite times of the year, because you get to get together with family. You get to get together. That was a lot of G's. Whatever. You get to see your family. You know, like, not that I don't see my family ever, because most of them live close to my home, not university, if that makes sense. So, like, I get to see them a lot, but, like, we're all in a space together, and we're all eating food and having fun, and we get 3 days off school. Which is not the case here, because Thanksgiving isn't a thing. Which is sad. And I'm still gonna make myself, like, Thanksgiving food, because, like, I would be depressed if I didn't. And I'm definitely making pumpkin pie, because, like, the best thing ever. And I might make apple pie, too, but I don't know if I want to make 2 pies for one person. Like, that's a little sad. So I'm really sad that I'm not home, because also a lot of my friends who are also in university have this week off, so they've gone home to, like, see people. Or this is, like, actually, one of my friends is at the beginning of her, like, winter break. So she's home now for 4 weeks, and I'm not coming home for oh God, 3 weeks. 2.5 weeks. That's actually not that far away. That's really scary. I'm not home for another 2.5 weeks, which is both terrifying and like can't come soon enough, but I'll get to that. And I'm really sad that I don't get to like see all of my friends, because I've been texting them and they're all like, oh yeah, I'm going home, I can't wait to see my dog and my puppy and like my siblings, and like we should hang out. And I'm like, yeah, I wish, but no, because I'm just too far away. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Once again, this entire video, it's like, it's not that big of a deal, but it is. But it's not, but it is. Okay. The next thing. I haven't really talked about this very much on my channel, but I talked about it on my Instagram, at WOODSoftheBooks. If you want to follow me, the link is always in the description. I'm doing NaNoWriMo this month, or attempting NaNoWriMo, because obviously I'm in a creative writing degree for a reason. I want to be a published author someday in my life. If it doesn't happen, like, I mean, okay, I really want it to happen, so it freaking better happen. But also, like, if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna be, like, mad or anything. But that's a whole nother tangent that we don't need to talk about right now. Anyway, so I was like, I want to force myself to write a whole bunch of words, because I've never written more than a 15-page Google Doc. I don't know how many words it was. It probably wasn't more than 15K words. So I wanted to prove to myself that I can write more than that I can plot longer than that, and all this stuff, because that's something I have a hard time with, is believing in myself. So if I force myself to do it once, it's like, well, you hit it once, you can do it again. It's not that hard. But because I went to London at the very beginning of the month, it was kind of hard for me to find time to sit down and write 1,600 words each day that I was in London. So I got a little behind. Like, at one point, I think I was 5,000 words behind, and it was like the middle of the month, which is already the time when you're like, geez, can I actually do this? And then, like, it just got more depressing, because I was like, I'm 5,000 words behind, I'm never going to be able to make it up. But I think I can do it. If I write 2,000 words every single day this week, so today is Monday, I wrote 2,000 words yesterday, I've already written almost 1,000 words today, so just another 1,000, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I should hit 50K on Saturday. Emphasis on the word should. Will that actually happen? I don't know. I guess I'll tell you guys when I do my November wrap-up, because it's kind of like a wrap-up. But I really hope that I can, because that would be amazing to see myself in that way, to get myself, to have gotten myself to that point would be an amazing experience, I think. And it would just kind of prove to me that I can do it, you know, because that's the biggest hurdle for me at the moment, is that, like, is the thought of, like, I can't actually write something that long because I just don't have the brain power. And at this point, I'm almost at 40K. So, like, why the heck should you not be able to write that in the future? Why shouldn't you be able to write something that long? You've been able to write something this long. I don't think it's entirely boring, although I've never had anyone else read it, so, like, that's a little concerning. I may have to get someone to read it once I, like, edit it. Actually, I had a friend who was like, let me read it, and I was like, not until I edited a whole bunch, because, like, you don't want to see this. And so that's been really stressful, because I didn't think I was going to make it for a long time, and that was really putting myself down, because this month was supposed to be about, like, you can write a novel, you can do it, you're not in this degree for no reason. And it was getting to the point where I was like, maybe I can't do it, maybe I shouldn't be in this, like, that was rough, man. But I'm doing it, and I'm so close that I think I can do it, and that's a really amazing feeling. So if there are any people who are aspiring writers out there who haven't done NaNoWriMo, I highly recommend it. Even if you don't do it in November, because I get it, November is a busy month. If I was at home, like, this week for Thanksgiving, I don't think I would have made it, because it just would have been too crazy. But if you can find another month where you can commit to writing 1,667, I think is the actual count, words a day, I say go for it, because it gives you the feeling that you can achieve your own dreams, if that makes sense, right? Because I didn't think I could, and now I have more faith in myself. And you can too. Oh, this is turning out more positive than I thought it was gonna be. That's good. Okay, what else? Should I talk about going home? Okay, when I first got here, and like when I first started university and I was having a really hard time making friends and I was spending a lot of time in my room by myself reading and writing, which like, creative writing major, but also like I should be trying to get out and do stuff. All I wanted to do was go home. I couldn't wait for December 15th to happen because that was the day that I was flying home. I couldn't wait to be back into this environment where I feel secure in myself, because at home, it had taken me 5 years to figure out who I was, and then my senior year of high school, I finally figured it out. I figured out, well, most of who I was. There was one thing, but like we can't talk about that yet. I don't know. Maybe I will. Okay. I had figured out mostly who I was. I had figured out, I felt like I had dance figured out, I had martial arts figured out, two of my favorite things in the world. I was getting ready for, competing for martial arts. I was working, I felt like I had a steady job, I had good grades, I was a little stressed about school, but not really. And it was like, especially my second semester of high school, it was like, this is who I am. I finally figured it out. This is like my place where I feel comfortable. I had really good friends and all that stuff. And it didn't hit me until September, when everyone was gone, that like, that person is going to change. That person that I had worked for 5 years to figure out, because I moved to where I currently live, or well, not right this second, but like where my house is, in 7th grade. And obviously like in 7th grade, you have no idea who you are, but also it's really hard to move somewhere and because you start to adapt to that place, and sometimes it's not in a good way, and you have to take a step back and go, okay, this adaptation was great in the beginning when I needed this to like to make myself feel confident, but that's not me. So it was like I finally figured myself out, and then I came here and those things didn't change, but I had to adapt again. And hopefully it doesn't take me another 5 years, because I'm only here for 3, so like that's not going to work. And I don't think it will, because I still feel very confident in myself. I'm not as quiet as I was in 7th grade. I still know that I love to dance, that I am passionate about martial arts, that I'm the kind of person who's going to go to a Harry Potter club meeting because I love Harry Potter. But I have to figure out who I am here. I have to adapt to the way that I have to adapt to here. I have to understand new social rules, all of these things. And for a month or for 3 weeks, I don't remember how long it was so overwhelming trying to come here and trying to figure myself out again. Because, I mean, dance is such a huge part of my life, and I didn't get to start full-time dancing again until the end of October. And so for most of October, it was like I went to the dance taster session, I went to tryouts, but it was this big stress because like if I don't get on the dance team, what am I going to do? Because dance has been such a big part of my life for all of my life. It's one of those things when someone's like, give us some words that describe you, I would probably say dancer, reader, writer, because those are like 3 of the things that are me the most, if that makes sense. So that was, October was a time. I was talking about going home, but like this is preamble. So in that time in the beginning of October, it was like all I wanted to do was be at home. And I think you can tell a little bit in my videos. I'm a lot more subdued in my first 3 videos here, or 4, because I had lost who I was, basically. Because I didn't have dance, and while I still had reading and writing, I didn't have other people around me who understood and like who I felt like I was actually becoming friends with. And that was so freaking hard. That was a really scary experience. And it's still happening, obviously. I don't think it ever stops, but like, that was hard. And then I got onto the dance team. And I got closer to a couple of people that are in one of my clubs. And I was really worried about housing, but I finally found people that people have asked me to come live with them. And those things made such a difference because I felt like I wasn't unwanted in a group. Because one of the things that I find hard here is that I don't like drinking. It's just not my thing. And although I haven't done it a lot, so it's like, you don't know if you like it unless you try it, but like, that's something I'm trying to put out of my head, because it's just not something I enjoy, and going out to clubs is not something I enjoy, and that's something that a lot of people here revolve their lives around. It's like, on the weekends, they do nothing until 4 or 5 when they start getting ready, they have prees at 8, and then they go out clubbing all night. And like, that's not what I want to be doing. And I felt really isolated from some of the other people here because of that. But I stopped feeling isolated because I found other people that were like, oh yeah, I don't like drinking, I'm not the kind of person who's gonna go out to clubs. I would prefer to go on a hike in the woods. I would prefer to sit at a bookstore and drink coffee and read a book, which is like, that's how I feel. And getting to find those people was so amazing because it was like I didn't feel like I was drowning in social expectations anymore. So I finally found those people, and I stopped counting the days until I got to come home. I stopped thinking about this. I stopped like seeing December 15th as a milestone I needed to get to, but in a temporary ending for something I can't wait to start up again in January. And that was insane to think about because I'd come so far. Literally like 3 weeks ago, I was not in a good place mentally. I had a hard time even functioning sometimes, and now I'm such a different person. Because I found those people that don't feel like they need to drink all the time. I found those people that their lives don't revolve around clubbing, and that's really important to me. And I found some people who will push me beyond my, I don't like going clubbing, I don't like drinking things, which is good for me. But I also found the people who will go on a hike with me on a Saturday afternoon or walk around a bookstore with me. And so like that balance has become really important to me. So while I still can't wait to go home next month in, today's the 25th? So what is that? In 20 days, as my sister will probably remind me when she finally wakes up, I don't feel as much like it's a stone I need to get to. It's not something that I'm living my days for. It's something that's going to happen that I'm going to live to the fullest up to, and then I get to go home and see all of these wonderful people that I love so much that I can't wait to see again. But I'm not going to be living for that, if that makes sense. And that was a hard distinction to make, but I did it. So yeah, I'm going home in 20 days, and I'm really excited about it, but I'm also really scared because that means that in 18 days, I have 2 projects that are due that I still haven't started because I'm a bad student. So I'm really worried about that because it's like, one of them is fine. It's just a portfolio of like writing that I've done from the semester. But the other one is an author study, and I have to compare 2 books, 2 authors' writings that I've read in the semester to my own writing. And that's terrifying because, first of all, they were like, choose the books that you liked the most and figure out why you liked them. I didn't really like any of the books that we read. Like, I will be able to compare my writing to the author's writing, fine. I will find something. But those books just weren't interesting to me. They were all, okay, I'm not a super huge fan of literary fiction. Let's just put it out there. I like genre fiction. We can tell by my bookshelf. But literary fiction's not really my thing. Literary fiction is what you read in school, basically. It's those books that authors take 5 years to write that sometimes nothing happens in the entire book, and it's just about reading between the lines of different areas. So literary fiction and all the analyzation that goes with it is not as much my thing. It's just not something that I enjoy doing. So having to read those books and having to talk about those authors, especially when some of them I will outright hate, is not going to be fun. And like, I know that I have to look at it critically. I have to be like, okay, my writing is like this author's writing in this way, and I have to put aside my feelings of like, I hate this author. But I have a feeling it's going to be really hard, and it's not helping that this week I'm trying to write 2,000 words a day, and it's not helping that I'm worried about like finding Christmas presents for my family and stuff. Like, I'm trying to take it one day at a time. After NaNoWriMo, I'll have 13 days to complete this project, and that won't be a big deal. I can do an essay and I can do a portfolio in 13 days. Because I won't have NaNoWriMo to worry about anymore. I won't have to worry about my word count. And while I should continue writing every day, I know that that's not probably a realistic thing, and I'm probably going to put that entire project on pause in December, because I'm just not going to have time. I need to focus on those projects before I can go back to this piece of writing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. That's my life right now. Dance is going well. We're having fun. We're learning our choreography for our show in February and like our competitions in March, so that should be a lot of fun. I'm in French club, and we're learning lots of things. And I've been trying not to buy books after I went on that serious book buying spree back at the beginning of November, which if you haven't seen my book haul, you should check that out, because that's where I talk about all of the at least £100 worth of books that I've bought. That I bought in like 2 weeks. Oh my god, that's so bad. Anywho, so I literally forgot how my own videos go. This is future Maddie coming at you with the book that she's currently reading. Yeah, I'm currently reading The Diviners for the readathon that Emma Books, Sarah Without an H, and She Might Be Monica are doing for this book series. That didn't sound good. Anyway, so The Diviners this month, and then the next, I don't remember all the books, what all the books are called. Book 2 in December, book 3 in January, and the new book in February or March, whichever month it comes out. So I will be doing the book tag that goes along with this book, but I'm going to do it later because I want to be able to actually talk about this book and have some knowledge of, because it's the Roaring Twenties book tag, and I want to have like some knowledge about the book before I do the tag. I don't just want to like jump in and be like, I never read The Diviners. Let's just do this tag, you know? So I'm going to read the book, and it's going to be like kind of like a book tag slash book talk, which like, here's another video, which like I want to make this, but like I can't until I read the dang book, so let's see. And I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of feelings about this book because I'm currently on page 29, and I'm dying already. I would die for both of the two characters that we've been introduced to, because they're beautiful. And I already really love Libba Bray's writing style. There's this one point in the very beginning when she writes from the perspective of wind, which I thought was really intriguing and something I'd never seen before, but I was like, I'm hooked, yes, continue. So I'm really, really excited to finish this book and get to talk about it in that book tag. Sending you back to future Maddie, who was talking about something that I don't remember right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. In the comments, tell me a life update. You could do what I did. Take something that was like a struggle, maybe like a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, and turn it on its head and go, kind of like, I was struggling with finding friends, but now I've accepted that I'm going to find those people eventually, and I have found people. So do that same thing. Find something that you've been stressing about and make it happy, because I try not to be negative, in case you couldn't tell, because when I sat down to film this video, I was like, wow, this is going to be the most negative thing ever. But I feel like it actually turned out pretty positive, because I was able to talk about how, although October was a rough month, it's getting better. Yeah. I'll see you next time. Bye!